It was labelled Motherwell's best performance in years, but has that performance got Stuart Kettlewell the job? This is Fog Fitba back again with another Fitba review. Didn't review any games yesterday. Don't really know why we didn't, to be honest, but there's a review show coming later where we'll talk about it. Loads of more controversy. The Old Firm continue to win. Aberdeen, absolute shite. Livingston, could argue they were hard done by. Dundee United, what's the goalie then, Tam? And St Mirren win like St Mirren have been doing most of the time this season, apart from, midweek there against Motherwell. But into this game, and that is 2 wins on the bounce for Stuart Kettleman, and I don't see how this guy doesn't get the job. Honestly, I don't. He's literally single-handedly, he's. I'm not saying they're out of a relegation battle because of course they could still be dragged into it, right? But they were literally joint bottom. He's had 2 games, and they're now 6 points above automatic relegation and 5 above blah blah blah. Albeit Dundee now have a game in hand, but give the guy the job, man. He surely has to get the job. I mean, next before we get into the game. Talk of Ian Holloway. The only thing I can remember this guy for is match of the day when he was Blackpool manager and the wee theme went in tune with his jump at the end. Now, if you remember that, you've got a great memory, and that's all I can remember. This guy's a fucking joke. Yeah, he wears a bonnet, but I mean, they were outdated about fucking 35 years ago, son, so don't know. Grant McCann, he's shite. He'll just go missing like Madeline, so I rest my case. Give it to Stuart Kettlewell. Give it to the Hayes older brother. That's who he is. But in terms of this game, Hearts, I mean, was it that Motherwell were so great, or was it the Hearts were so bad? I think it's a mixture. I think it's in the middle. Personally, if I'm going to be honest, I mean, Hearts did not really have any chances until about 20 minutes to go. I mean, there were so many funny instances in this game where the assistant referees' communication went down, which was a disaster. He put his flag up, I believe it was for Kevin Van Veen in the second half, and like they just continued to play because his communication was down. He then had Harry Cochrane getting subbed off, but then he didn't get subbed off, and Shankland's fucking screaming at him, trying to get him back over, which I thought was funny. But Zander Clark, I thought he did have a good game, but at the same time, I think question marks, especially the second goal, I think there is question marks for him. I thought it was very effing. But again, I thought Motherwell were really good, so let's get into the match. And it's 3 points for Motherwell. And I mean, I don't watch enough Motherwell games to actually, confidently sit here and say that was their best performance in years. But I have watched a few games with Motherwell. Of course, when they play Rangers, or if they're on TV, I mean, I watched the Sligo Rovers games; they were abysmal. I was actually at the Rangers Motherwell game in December, and they were pretty pish. I remember Kevin Van Veen scoring an offside goal. But I thought Abika was really good in this game. I thought he held the ball up really well. Slattery had a really good game. I mean, Liam Kelly didn't have an awful lot to do, and I believe Liam Kelly is actually the highest paid Motherwell player. I saw like a short the other day about he's on I think it's on $4,000 a week, which fuck, I couldn't quite believe he was on $4,000 a week. If I'm being, was it 3.94K, man? It's all the same stuff at the end of the day. But I thought Hearts were very, very shite. I can't really think of a Hearts player who could hold their head up high after the day and be like, they did a job. I mean, they didn't. Robbie Nielsen, I mean, they had a great opportunity to cement third place. I mean, they are still five. Well, actually, I would say they're still 7 points clear, but of course, Hibs are only 5 points. I mean, I doubt Hibs will catch Hearts, but if Hearts won the day, it's like, fuck, they're flying. But they're not really flying at the same time, if you get me. But Abika does get his first goal I say his first goal. I mean, it's his last goal was against for Morecambe in last February, so that's a bit of a joke. But I thought this was actually a pretty well worked goal from a Motherwell perspective. Very good play right in front of the Hearts fans that were nearly greeting. But we go into the second half, and this is like a looping header. It's really weird. So Blair Spittle gets his Kevin Van Veen whips it in. Spittle flicks it. It cracks off the post, but I thought Sander Clark was shocking here. I don't know what he was playing at. I And he had a few shots and headers that were tipped over, and I think a free kick for Kingsley hit the post in the first half. It's literally only Hearts' chance. But this one, I don't know, I thought his positioning, Sander Clark, was pretty shite, if I'm being honest. But again, it would have been a red and a penalty if Spittle didn't tap it in, because I don't even know who was getting dragged to the ground here, but he was getting dragged to the ground. I think it was Kingsley actually doing the dragging to the ground. So yeah, it finishes 2-0 after that. Well, it makes it 2-0 and the game finishes 2-0. Hearts had quite a lot of opportunities, some really good defending in Motherwell. I mean, there was some really nice one-touch movement from Hearts, but then Motherwell, brilliant defending, keep it at 2-0, and it's very disappointing. I believe there was 2,500 travelling Hearts fans to this game. It was actually a pretty... the stadium was nowhere near full, but, it's fucking... it looked alright. There's times you look at fucking Livingston's ground. They're playing Ross County, and there's about 3 fucking people in it, and that is embarrassing. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below, and peace. Motherwell 2, Hearts 0. Watching the Leicester United game, might review that, might review it, might not review it, man.